Hey class, good evening everyone. Welcome once again to today's session. And as you all know, today's session is your Umang series, grade 9, and we will be talking about the new topic that is your polynomials. Okay, so today we'll be discussing about just the introduction of the polynomials. I'll be talking about what is polynomial and then classification of polynomials. This is the main portion which we are going to discuss today. That is the main portion that we are going to discuss today. So let's start this part without wasting any more time. Okay, so if you know that what is a polynomial, you have already learned about it in your grade 8. So if I talk about a polynomial, so polynomial is an algebraic expression. Okay, it is an algebraic expression. Remember, it is an algebraic expression, but it does not mean that all the algebraic expressions are polynomials. No, there is a criteria. It is an algebraic expressions who in which power of the variable in which power of the variable is a non-negative integer. Non-negative integer means, you know what do you mean by non-negative integer? Non-negative integer means it should be a whole number. It should be a whole number. Got it? For example, it means that if an algebraic expression is there in which the power of the variable, remember, I am telling you very specifically that I am only talking about the power of the variable. I'm only talking about the power of the variable. I do not care about what is the power on the number. So the power of the variable should be a non-negative integer. That means it should be whole number. So the powers of the variable either can be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. Power cannot be negative and power cannot be in the fractional form. Correct? So from here you can understand one thing. First, power can't be negative or fraction. And negative power means what? Variable should not be present. Variable should not be present in denominator. Any expression you are writing, variable should not be present in the denominator. For example, if I write suppose square root of x, square root of x means what? X raised to the power half. So I can say it is not a polynomial. If I say 1 by x square plus 1, so here variable is present in the denominator, so I can say it will not be a polynomial. So power of the variable should be a whole number. So what is your example of polynomial? Let's say x cube plus 3x square minus 2x, polynomial. Okay, you can say square root of x square. Coefficient can be irrational. Power of the coefficient, number can have any power, so it will also be a polynomial. Okay, x cube by 3 is also polynomial. Variable, the number can be in the denominator, no problem, but x cube, the power of the variable is 3, which is a non-negative integer, or you can say it is a whole number. So power of the variable should be a whole number. That is the most important thing which you should keep in your mind when you are talking about the polynomials. So power should be a whole number. That means power cannot be negative or it cannot be in fraction, or and the second thing is the variable should not be present in the denominator. Got it? After that we'll come to the second part. Okay, so this is your basics about polynomial. Then the polynomial, how it is classification. So classification of polynomial is done on two bases. Classification of polynomials is done on two bases. First basis is on the basis of number of terms. On the basis of number of terms, and second basis is on the basis of degree of polynomial. What is degree? We will discuss it, don't worry. So these are the two bases on which we can classify the polynomials. So let us talk about the first classification, that is number of terms. So on the basis of number of terms, we will say that suppose if a polynomial has only one term, If a polynomial has only one term, then it will be called a monomial. It will be called a monomial. For example, x cube, or let us say 2x square, or let us say 3x. So these are your monomial. Only one term is there. Second is your, if there are two unlike terms. Two unlike term means those two terms cannot be added or subtracted. You cannot add or subtract them. So the terms, both the terms should have different power of the variables. The variable part should be different over there. So if there are two unlike terms, then it will be called a binomial. For example, let us say x cube plus 3x. Now here you will see x cube, power of x is 3, power of x is 1. You cannot add them. So there are two terms. 2x plus 3. 2x is your one term, 3 is your another term. So there is again two terms. So it will be a binomial. Third is your, if there are three unlike terms. If there are three unlike terms, then I will say it will be called trinomial. It will be called trinomial. That is, for example, x square plus 2x plus 3. You cannot add or subtract these terms. All three are different. So it will be an example of trinomial. Now understand, after that, if there are four unlike terms, five unlike terms, so they are, we have not given any of them separate name. They are called multinomial or polynomial only, for example. Okay. So after that, all are called simply polynomials. That means they are not given any separate name. But do remember that monomial as well as your binomial as well as your trinomial are also polynomials only. It is not like monomial and binomial, they are not polynomials. Monomial is also a polynomial, binomial is also a polynomial, trinomial is also a polynomial, but after three terms, we have not given a separate name for it. Got it? But if one term is there or two terms are there or three terms are there, we have given them a special name. So that is the classification on the basis of number of terms. The second classification which is very important is the classification on the basis of degree of polynomials. On the basis of degree of polynomials. So first understand what is degree of a polynomial. What do you mean by degree of a polynomial? So but a degree of a polynomial is the highest power of the variable. What is the degree of the polynomial? It is the highest power of the variable. Remember this thing. Degree of the polynomial means highest power of the variable. Let's take an example. Suppose if I give you x square plus 2x, right? So in this part, power of the variable is 2. In this part, power of the variable is 1. So you will see that the highest power of the variable in this whole polynomial is 2. So I can say degree of this polynomial will be equal to 2. Degree of this polynomial will be equal to 2. Got it? Then let's move to the one more example. Let's say one more example. If I say x square plus 3x plus 5, for example. So x square, as you all know, power of the variable. Remember beta, I am talking about power of the variable. I am not talking about power on the number or something. Power of the variable. Okay. So in x square, your power of the variable is 2. In 3x, your power of the variable is 1. And what is the power of the variable in 5? What is the power of the variable in 5? So understand, power of the variable in 5 is 0. Power of the variable in 5 is 0. Now how do we got it is 0? Beta dekho, you know that any variable raised to the power 0 is equal to what? 1. है ना? Any number or any variable, anything raised to the power 0 is equal to 1 except 0. Any non-zero thing, number, variable, anything, any non-zero thing raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. So this 5 I can write as 5 into 1, right? And this 1 I can write as x raised to the power 0. So when you write only 5, you can clearly see x is not present. So we will say power of the variable is 0 in that term. So here the highest power is 2. So here also degree will be 2. Correct? So this is how you find out the degree of any polynomial. Degree of any polynomial is the highest power of the variable. Now, what is the classification? So the classification on the basis of degree of polynomial. So first, let's understand the basic part. First is called linear polynomial. Linear polynomial are those polynomial whose degree is equal to 1. If degree of any polynomial is 1, it will be called a linear polynomial. For example, let us say 5x. Highest power of the variable is 1. So 5x is a linear polynomial. Or let's say that 8x plus 7. Highest power of the variable, here it is 1. Here it is 7. Power of the variable is 0. So highest power will be 1. So these are your examples of linear polynomial. Then comes your quadratic polynomial. Then comes your quadratic polynomial. Quadratic polynomials, as you know, will be equal to, degree should be equal to 2. For example, x square minus 3x plus 2 or 5x square. So we don't matter when we talk about the classification on the basis of degree, we don't care how many terms are there, we just look at the highest power of the variable. Okay, 2x square minus 7x, anything. As you all see in all these, highest power of the variable is 2. So this will be called a quadratic polynomial. Similarly, a cubic polynomial. What is a cubic polynomial? Cubic polynomial is when your degree is equal to 3. Highest power of the variable is 3. For example, x cube plus 5x square minus 9. So here power is 3, 2 and 0. So highest power is 3. So when highest power is 3, we will say degree is 3, and degree is 3 is called cubic polynomial. So linear polynomial degree 1, quadratic polynomial degree 2, cubic polynomial degree 3. Okay. Then the next part comes is your constant polynomial. Then the next part comes is your constant polynomial. Okay, what is a constant polynomial, beta? Remember, when the degree is equal to 0. Degree is equal to 0. Now, what do I mean by degree equal to 0? For example, if I say any number, let's say I write 9. Is 9 a polynomial? What do you think? Let me know in the chat box. What do you think? Is 9 a polynomial? Right? So I think all of you are telling me correct answer. 9 is a polynomial, and especially it is a constant polynomial, because 9 I can write as 9 into x raised to the power 0, and you can see in this term highest power of the variable is 0. So all the constant numbers, they will be only numbers. They are called your constant polynomials. Only numbers, they are called your constant polynomials. Okay? But there is one small trick. There is one small trick. Okay. For example, let us say I will first give you the statement that all real numbers, real means rational and irrational, all real numbers are example of constant polynomials. All real numbers are example of constant polynomials. Option A, I am telling you true. Option B, I am telling you false. Now tell me, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? Let me know the answer in the chat box, whether it is true, whether it is false. What do you all think? What do you all think? All real numbers are example of constant polynomial. For example, let us say if I write 8, 8 can be written as 8 into x raised to the power 0. So highest power is 0. If I write square root of 2, square root of 2 also can be written as square root of 2 into x raised to the power 0. So what? So in this way, rational or irrational, I am saying all real numbers are example of constant polynomials. What do you think? True or false? Now I'm pretty sure many of you must be telling me, sir, it is true. But the thing is, it is false. It is not true. All real numbers are not constant polynomials. So what is the correct statement? I will tell you, but first understand a different thing. What is the exception here? Do you know? Exception is 0. Remember, 0 is not a constant polynomial. 0 is not a constant polynomial. Why it is not a constant polynomial? You will tell me, sir, if you are writing 2 as 2 into x raised to the power 0, so same way you can write now 0 into x raised to the power 0 is also 0. What is the problem? What is the problem in this? By sir, if you are telling me that 2 is equal to 2 into x raised to the power 0, so same way you can write 0 also as 0 into x raised to the power 0. What is the problem? Why it is not a polynomial? So let's understand it more further. Okay, 2 into x raised to the power 0 is equal to 2. Let us multiply 2 with the different powers of x. So if I multiply 2 with x raised to the power 1, your answer is 2x. If I multiply 2 with x square, your answer is 2x square. If I multiply 2 with x cube, your answer is 2x raised to the power 4. So this way, when you multiply 2 with different powers of x, your answer is always different. With x raised to the power 0, answer is 2. Multiplied with x, answer is 2x. Multiplied with x square, 2x square. If I same way, if I multiply 2x raised to 2 into x raised to the power 7, you can say it is 2 into x raised to the power 7. Same way, if I tell you that, chalo, suppose if it is 2 into x raised to the power 9. So what you have multiplied with 2, you can clearly tell, so you have multiplied x raised to the power 9 and so on. So for different powers of x, you are getting different answer. What happens with 0? See, it's very interesting over here that in case of 0, every time multiply 0 with x, your answer is 0. 0 with x raised to the power 1, your answer is 0. 0 into x square, your answer is 0. 0 into x cube, your answer, acha, it is cube, okay. Your answer is 0. 0 into x raised to the power 4, your answer is 0. No matter what you will multiply, what power of x you will multiply, your answer will always be equal to 0. Every time your answer is 0, no matter what you are multiplying with. So when I write only 0, I am not able to identify that which variable I am multiplying, because no matter what power of the variable I am multiplying, my answer is always 0. 0 is the king in multiplication, it makes everyone 0. Correct. So with all the other numbers, you can clearly identify what variable you are multiplying. Any other number other than 0, use any number you want, you can always identify what variable you have multiplied. But in case of 0, you cannot identify which variable you have multiplied. If I write only 0, some of you will tell me, sir, you are multiplying with x. Some of you will tell me you are multiplying with x square. Some of you will tell me you are multiplying with x raised to the power 1000 and so on. And I will say all of you are correct, because in all the cases my answer is 0, right? So here is the problem. 0, with 0 we cannot identify what power of the variable we are multiplying, but with all the other numbers it is possible to identify. So all the numbers except 0, all the numbers except 0 are constant polynomials. So the correct statement which I have written over there, the correct statement for this is all real numbers except 0 are constant polynomials. That means other than 0, you write any number if you want, fraction, rational, irrational, anything. It will be a constant polynomial but not 0. So what is 0? So beta 0 has a separate identity. 0 is called 0 polynomial. 0 is called 0 polynomial. 0 is called 0 polynomial. So why it is just given a separate name? Because its degree not 0. You can say degree is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Its degree can be anything you want. So that is why remember 0 is the only number and it is called 0 polynomial. No other example of it, only 0 is your 0 polynomial, and its degree, remember very important, is not defined. Its degree is not defined. Its degree is not defined. So these are your different examples of the polynomial. Okay, now understand one important thing. Whenever you are calculating degree of any polynomial, degree or number of terms in any polynomial, always simplify, always simplify the polynomial. Always simplify the polynomial. Always you have to simplify the polynomial. Don't start just by looking at it. No, always simplify. For example, let me give you an example. A very beautiful example. If I give you, suppose, say x plus 1 whole square minus x square. What is the degree? You will see, Arey sir, x square term is present. So degree is 2. But not like that, not so easy. First, simplify it. X plus 1 whole square can be written as x square plus 2x plus 1, a plus b whole square minus x square. So you will get x square plus 2x plus 1 minus x square. So x square to x square got cancelled. You have got 2x plus 1. And now you can see highest power of the variable is 1. So it is a linear polynomial. And if you count the number of terms, then it will be a binomial. Got it? So whenever you are calculating the degree or you're calculating the number of terms, always remember that this is the difference here. First, simplify that part. First, simplify that part. Got it? Then there is one more small thing which is called coefficient. What is coefficient? Coefficient is any number you are multiplying with the variable. Suppose if x square, suppose if x square I am multiplying with 2. If I am multiplying x square with 2, which is 2x square, so I will say 2 is the coefficient of x square. Similarly, suppose if I have x square by 2, so in this case many students will say so 2 is coefficient. No, x square by 2 will be written as x square into half, and I have told you whatever you are multiplying with the variable, so half will be your coefficient. Whatever you are multiplying with the variable will be called your coefficient. Okay, beta? So this is just the basic theory about your topic polynomials. This is the basics of your topic polynomials. Let's solve some questions. So the first question we have is, which one of the following is a polynomial? So when I talk about which one of the following, I have told you rules. First thing, power of the variable should be a whole number. What does it mean? It means that power of the variable should not be a fraction or negative number, and variable should not be present in the denominator. Let's look here. In option A, here, okay, power is 2, no problem. But here, variable is present in the denominator. So option A is wrong. In option B, as you can see, it square root is extended up to x. So you can see square root is extended up to x. So it has become root 2 into x raised to the power half, which is again not a polynomial. Correct? Here in option D, variable is present in the denominator, not a polynomial. But in option C, if you will see, I can see option C can be simplified further. You have x square plus 3 x raised to the power 3 by 2 upon x raised to the power half. Use second law of exponent, you will be getting x square plus 3 into x raised to the power 3 by 2 minus x raised to the power half, which means x square plus 3 into x raised to the power 3 by 2 divided by, sorry, it is divided by x raised to the power half. So I will say it will become x raised to the power, subtract the powers, 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2, which will give you x square plus 3 into x raised to the power 1. So you can see the powers are a whole number. One part power is 2, one part power is 1. So it will be a polynomial. So always simplify and then think whether it is a polynomial or not. So option C will be your correct answer, because it can be simplified in the form of x square plus 3x. Using the second law of exponent, x raised to the power 3 by 2 divided by x raised to the power 1 by 2 is equal to x raised to the power 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2, which is equal to x raised to the power 1. Got it? Let's go for the second question. Root 2 is a polynomial of degree. Now root 2 is a constant number. So I can write root 2 as root 2 into x raised to the power 0. So I can say it means it is a constant polynomials, and constant polynomial means degree is equal to 0. So any non-zero number will be called a constant polynomial. Okay, any non-zero real number is a constant polynomial. So option B is your correct answer here. Let's go for the third question. Degree of this polynomial. अब बेटा देखो, if blindly you will see You will see, array sir, power 5 is there, so degree is 5. But look at it carefully, na. It is multiplied with 0. So simplification will be 4x raised to the power 4. 0 into x cube is 0. 0 into x raised to the power 4 is 0. X raised to the power 5 is 0. Plus 5x plus 7. So the final form is 4x raised to the power 4 plus 5x plus 7. So power of the variable here is 4. Power of the variable here is 1. Power of the variable here is 0 because constant number. So highest power is 4. So option A is your correct answer. Option A is your correct answer. Got it? Let's go for the next question. Write the coefficient of x square in square root of 2 into x minus 1. You have to write the coefficient of x square. Beta, you will see, sir, you are making a joke with us. Coefficient of x I can say is square root of 2. Constant term is minus 1, but there is no x square. So beta, if there is no x square, what does it mean? It means that maybe I can write it as 0 into x square. If x square is not there, I can write it as 0 into x square. 0 into something is 0. Don't worry. So I can say coefficient of x square will be equal to what? 0. When that variable term is not present, that means its coefficient is 0. If I ask you what is the coefficient of x cube, you will tell me 0 because x cube is not present here. And I can add 0 into x cube in that, it will not change the polynomial. Got it? So when the variable part is not present in that polynomial, coefficient will be 0. Is it clear? Let's go for the next question. Which of the following is a cubic polynomial? Now for cubic polynomial beta, we know very clearly that degree should be equal to 3. First example is y plus y square plus 4. So power of the variable 1, 2 and 0. So highest power is 2. I can say it is a quadratic polynomial. 3t, highest power is 1, t raised to the power 1. So it is a linear polynomial. Option D, 1 plus x. Here power is 0. Here power is 1. Highest power is 1. So I can say it is again a linear polynomial. But in this case, power of variable is 1. Power of the variable is 3. Highest power is 3. So it will be cubic. So option B will be your cubic polynomial. Degree 1, linear. Degree 2, quadratic. Degree 3, cubic. Degree 0, constant. And degree undefined means 0 polynomial. Okay. Now let's look at a very important question. What is the degree of x cube minus 4x raised to the power 5 plus 2x plus 1 into x square minus x raised to the power 8 plus 11? So what we are going to do, we will first simplify it. Don't just say, sir, 8 is the highest power. No, they are in multiplication. So first multiply them. I have told you always simplest form. So first multiply them. Suppose if I choose the second bracket, so first multiply x square with the first bracket. So your first bracket here is what? X cube minus 4x raised to the power 5 plus 2x plus 1. After that we have, what do we have? We have minus x raised to the power 8. So multiply this minus x raised to the power 8 with the second bracket, which is again with the first bracket, x cube minus 4x raised to the power 5 plus 2x plus 1. And then at the end we have plus 11. At the end we have plus 11 into again the first bracket, which will be equal to x cube minus 4x raised to the power 5 plus 2x plus 1. Got it? This is how you do the multiplication. Choose any one bracket and each term of that bracket should be multiplied to the other bracket. So what you'll be getting, x square into x cube, powers will be added. X square into x cube is x raised to the power 5. X square minus, remember this property, x raised to the power a into x raised to the power b, sorry, x raised to the power a into x raised to the power b will be equal to addition of the powers, that is x raised to the power a plus b. So this is the identity I'm using here. X raised to the power 2 into x cube is 2 plus 3, which is 5. X square minus 4x raised to the power 5, so it will become minus 4, and x square into x raised to the power 5 is x raised to the power 7. X square into 2x is 2x cube. x square into 1 is x square. Now minus x raised to the power 8 into x cube is plus into minus is minus, and x raised to the power 8 into x cube is x raised to the power 8 plus 3 is 11. Minus into minus is plus 4 x raised to the power 8 into x raised to the power 5. 8 plus 5 is 14. So you'll be getting, sorry, 8 plus 5 is 13. So x raised to the power 13. Minus x raised to the power 8 minus 2x will give you minus 2x raised to the power 9. Minus x raised to the power 8 into 1 is minus x raised to the power 8. Then multiply here, plus 11x cube minus 11 into 4 is minus 44x raised to the power 5. 11 into 2x is plus 22x, and 11 into 1 is plus 11. Now add the terms with the same power. Okay, add the terms with the same power. So I saw, okay, sir, one term we have x raised to the power 5, and here we have x raised to the power 5. Then we have one more same terms, that is your x cube by 2x cube is present here, and 11x cube is present here. Then 11, 13, 9, 1, minus 8, minus 7. So nothing else will work. Okay. So at the end, beta, I am getting the polynomial as, देखो, x raised to the power 5 minus 44 x raised to the power 5 will become minus 43 x raised to the power 5 minus 4x raised to the power 7. 2x cube plus 11x cube will become 13x cube plus x square minus x raised to the power 11 plus 4x raised to the power 13 plus 2x raised to the power 9 minus x raised to the power 8 plus 22x plus 11. Now just look at the power of the variable. So here power of the variable is 5, 7, 3, 2, 11, 13, 9, 8, it is 1, and here I can say constant number, so power 0. So out of all these, highest power is what? 13. So if the highest power is 13, you can say the degree of this variable will be 30. So always simplify and then give your answer. Always simplify and then give your answer. Okay, so this is what we have done. We have learned about what is polynomial. Polynomial is an algebraic expression in which power of the variable should be a whole number. That means power cannot be negative or fraction, and variable should not be present in the denominator. Second thing, classification first on the basis of number of terms, monomial, binomial, trinomial, and on the basis of degree of the polynomial. So degree of the polynomial is highest power of the variable. So if degree is 1, linear, degree is 2, quadratic, degree is 3, cubic, degree is 0, constant. All non-zero real numbers are constant polynomials. Remember, if I say all real numbers are constant polynomials, false. All non-zero, because when you say all real numbers, 0 is also included there. So 0 is not a constant polynomial. So the correct statement is all non-zero real numbers, or all real numbers except 0 are constant polynomials. Degree is 0. And then comes zero polynomial, which is number 0, and its degree is not defined. Whenever you are calculating degree or number of terms, first simplify the polynomial. Okay, beta? So this is all. Now one important announcement from my side to you, that those who have not downloaded the app yet, download the Vedantu app, and there we are having a live online quiz over there. So you can download the app, and after that you can play the quiz anytime you want. And just by playing the quiz, first thing, your knowledge will increase, that is there. Other than that, you will get a prize pool up to rupees 50,000, and you can get Paytm cashback for that. So what else you want? You are earning plus learning. Download the app and enjoy the quiz. Okay. Also, during this coronavirus pandemic, we have given free access to all the live classes and content of Vedantu. To know more about it, go to the link vdnt.in/ytlive. Third thing, we said quite beneficial for you. You will get scholarship. No need to pay a single fee for giving the examination. And the third thing is, give the exam at the comfort of your home. So to register for VSAT, go to the link vdnt.in/ytvsat. Got it, beta? So this is all. Please like this video, share this video with your friends. Let all other students, many ninth graders are not here at this platform. So let us get more and more students here. So share this video with your friends. Those who are new here and those who have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to this channel. And thank you so much for attending the session. I'll see you soon in the next class with some very interesting topic of polynomials. Till then, bye bye, good night, and see you soon. Bye bye.